Let's go ahead and bring in Steiner Sports CEO, Brandon Steiner.
One of the country's top memorabilia mogul.
I have an unbelievable guest, Brandon Steiner.
Brandon's second to none.
My friend Swish joining us, who's a LinkedIn guru, starting a new venture called True Fan, which I'm excited to break up and see how he comes about it. Welcome, Swish. And how old are you, by the way?
I'm 21 now.
See, these kids, and what kills me with him is like I killed him about not going to college.
I've been to college though for 2 years.
But you gave up on it.
I didn't give up on it yet.
Okay.
I think my parents might be watching this, so I'm going to say that.
But it wasn't. But college wasn't moving fast enough for you. Admit it.
Not yet.
Right.
I'm totally open to going back though. Just maybe after the company, I'm totally open to going back.
Now you've given me a lot of guidance on LinkedIn. Mm-hmm. Really smart guy, and helped me with my LinkedIn and social media. And you've also bought and sold a company. Mm-hmm. So tell me how your entrepreneurial spirit works and how you're thinking and when all this got started.
For sure. I mean, when I was younger, I wasn't per se an entrepreneur, but I obviously had tendencies towards that. When I was younger, at around 7 years old, my dad was an engineer, mechanical engineer by trades, wanted to get me into engineering. And so he bought home once a Havoc heli, which is like a remote-controlled rechargeable helicopter. And he broke it up for me, and he started showing me the parts. And I had this huge fascination with Star Trek and Star Wars at the time. So I really wanted to build a hovercraft. And I didn't think it was possible until he was like, no, I'll do it with you. So we built out a project timeline for 6 months. We built the hovercraft. It could go like maybe that high off the ground. Had an HMV plastic bag around it, all made of styrofoam. We basically took the Havoc heli, we took the rotor out and the motor and just built a new base around it. So that was kind of the first experience I had with building something and then selling it. We sold it for $200. And my dad, I think, thought I was
old were you?
7. But trust me, it was literally 90% my dad's work and 10% me just annoying him and like giving my own input on what plastic bag to use or anything like that.
Okay.
It was really not me building it. That being said, though, I did sell it to a classmate of mine, so I take full ownership over selling the thing.
You made the sale.
I made the sale happen, and I closed it. $200 in my pocket.
Is there anything better than making a sale and that's profitable?
Yeah.
Was that a good feeling?
A great feeling, and I bought a Nintendo DS with that. The Super Mario Bros. Expansion pack. It is still, to date, the greatest purchase I've ever made. I still have it. The
greatest purchase you ever made?
The greatest purchase, because it literally taught me the first step I took pretty much to being independent as a kid. Like, throughout my entire life.
Meaning, make some money, get what you want.
Get what you want, and at your own will. Not with, your own behavior or anything like that. Like, sure, it's cool to act good to your parents and all that, but this was the first purchase I made where I got what I wanted when I wanted it. And I love that.
Now, right now, with you not finishing college and doing this entrepreneurial thing, is it annoying to your parents, or are they behind you?
Yeah, I mean, so my parents are divorced now, so my dad, it doesn't really matter, and I personally don't care as much. But with my mother, I think she definitely wants me to do, my college education. She definitely wants me to finish. But right now, she loves what I'm doing. She gets it. She's literally like my manager pretty much, actually. Like, she's managing my speaking appearances with my bureau. She's like constantly trying to get me to travel to places to go and promote True Fan.
Now, you're speaking all over the place.
All over the place. About personal branding on LinkedIn, social entrepreneurship, and nowadays actually about True Fan. Because what we're building is the future of marketing. I'll get to that in a second, though.
We'll get to the True Fan in a second.
Yeah.
Give me 2, if you're out there, and now it's funny, LinkedIn's a big thing, for I feel like even for my generation, but a lot of my friends, I look at their LinkedIn and they're terrible. Like, they're not set up right.
No.
Now, without getting into a whole dissertation,
Yeah.
tell me 2 of the most important things to somebody who's kind of on LinkedIn but maybe needs to take it up a notch.
Sure. I think the first is fill in all the details. Like on your profile, like you have the option to put in honors and awards, publications that you've written or you've cited, your summary, your work experiences. You can add attachments to that. Just finish your profile.
Why?
Because if you have an incomplete profile to a recruiter, to an employee, to a potential partner, it looks messy. It's like not having an Instagram profile that has good photos on it, or having an Instagram profile that has no photo even on it as a profile photo, right? It just looks incomplete.
Second idea for LinkedIn? One more idea for LinkedIn.
The one more idea is...
You got to take action, right?
Yeah, true. One more idea is get LinkedIn Premium. I am not endorsed by LinkedIn. I'm not being, I'm not paid by them.
Why?
There's 2 huge benefits with LinkedIn Premium. One is the ability to in-mail people. So if I'm not connected to you, I'm not able to message you unless I have LinkedIn Premium, and I can send you an in-mail I can do 15 of those a month. So think about people that you can reach, right? A lot of people are influential on Instagram, on Facebook, but they're not influential on LinkedIn. You can probably reach them easier by going through LinkedIn and then coming back to them on Instagram after, right? The second big benefit that LinkedIn Premium gives you, it tells you who is viewing your profile in the last 90 days. So imagine being able to see a list of people in real time who are viewing your profile. Those are the people you should be connecting with.
So what do you recommend when you do find out all those people that have been following you? What do you recommend doing?
You should connect with them. Ideally, if there are people, obviously don't click the connect button to everybody. Don't spam it. But if you're going through the people in your network who you want to connect with, instead of sending random connections out, why don't you send connections requests out to people who've actually seen your profile before? Right? Like, I can go through a list and maybe I see some cool people here. They've already seen my profile. They have a little context on who I am. I'll send them a request. I'm more likely to get a yes from it.
One last LinkedIn question. Why is LinkedIn, what's the main best thing about LinkedIn? Why is LinkedIn something that everyone out there should be on top of their game with LinkedIn?
It is a community of people who love side hustles. And I think in the day and age we live in, people, even if you have a 9-to-5 job, whatever job you have, when you get out of that job, you can be an entire different person. You know, you could be a surgeon from 9 to 5, but be a graphic designer from 5 to 9.
Or you could just drive home the surgeon thing at night too, right?
Yeah, literally. And here's the thing. All those people are going on LinkedIn and they're being part of this community of other people who are doing the same thing, and they're helping each other out. It's just a network that is up for grabs if you want to be a part of it.
It's like going to a networking party every night when you sign on, right?
Literally. And that's the best feeling I have. Isn't the number of followers I have or anything. It's that I can put out a question, I can put out some sort of fact, and I can get an instant response from my community on what they think about it. You know, I didn't know what Bitcoin was 4 months ago. I probably still don't know about it. But at the same time, I asked my community, tell me about Bitcoin. What do you guys think? And I got like over 100 comments from people who wanted to tell me what they thought.
While we're talking about that, what was like the best comment on that? Because I'm trying to understand I'm trying to get
I think
a
the big
handle on
thing that
yeah.
people are saying, at least in the comments from what I understood, is the Facebook or Instagram of cryptocurrencies has not been invented yet or has not been discovered yet. But this is like the early part where if you're in it and you can understand who the major players are in the space, you're more likely to find the gold mine when it comes up.
The crypto coin.
Exactly.
And I enjoy LinkedIn. I really do. And I thank you for bringing me into that world, because when I met you, I was paying no attention to it. I had a few connections, and you really showed me how it works and how to work it and how to help others and how other people can help me. It was huge. And LinkedIn is like my favorite platform these days.
Yep.
Let's talk about True Fan.
Yep.
True Fan is now your second, because you had come up with another idea and sold that.
Company,
made a few bucks. I mean, at 19 already, you had bought and sold the company, which is amazing. True Fan didn't happen overnight, because I know we've been talking about True Fan for over a year
now.
So I think sometimes people think like, snap, crackle, pop, and boom, you got a company. But so you've been grinding, raising money. Tell me about how this all evolves and why.
Yeah, I mean, so a guy named
why True Fan?
Yeah, a guy named Mark Zablo. He's Chris Paul and Dwayne Wade's social media manager. He's a good friend of Elliot Robinson, who's my roommate in New York. He runs an account called Dunk. We basically were working together, and Mark asked me, do you have a tool Chris could use to find his most engaged fans in Houston? And I thought, it's that simple. Like, let's find Chris Paul's most engaged fans in Houston. I went online. I couldn't find anything to do that. And I thought it'd be really cool to build a tool that athletes could use to find their most engaged and influential fans anywhere in the world.
So when you say engaged, meaning somebody that actually says, I like Chris Paul, they're talking about them.
They're liking, they're sharing, they're commenting, they're messaging him, they're mentioning him on Twitter. Any activity that shows passion, like engagement, we'll calculate that for a passionate fan. And then for an influential fan, we'll take a look at your relative following. So if I'm a very big, passionate Brandon Steiner fan, but I also have a following myself, I'll come up on your influential fans list. So the idea was very
if I go get the app.
If you go get the app, exactly. And it's a back-end app, right? So the best part about it is the athletes' fans don't have to download anything. We're integrating directly into Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, and Instagram. So as long as they're engaging with you on these mainstream platforms, it's only a tool for you to use and for you to engage with me and find out who your top.
Now is that available now?
No, so we're in private beta for brands right now.
Hold up a minute.
Yeah.
Just stay tuned. Make a note of this, because
where we're launching.
So you can't get it right now, but you're launching when?
October 19th.
So coming up in a few weeks.
October 19th, coming up in a few weeks. And here's the really cool thing. It's not just for athletes. In the process of pitching the idea around, we realized that this is pretty much for any brand, small or big, because every brand has a customer loyalty program where they try to reward their top customers, but they're only looking at sales. They're only looking at, you're my top customer because you spent the most money on my product. They're not looking at social media at all. What we're trying to get them to do is balance both, because social media is so important now more than ever, right? And then even for an athlete or a celebrity or a business leader or just an up-and-coming influencer, you need to care about your community. It was the number one piece of advice I remember giving you for LinkedIn. You got to care about your community. You have to engage with them, interact with them, be their friend. You got to be there for them during their tough times and their good times. And you can do that a lot better when you know who they are through our app.
So if you're somebody who would be interested in this app is somebody who is could be a big fan of Nike.
Yeah.
Or could be a big fan of Chris Paul, which
Yep.
we are
Yep.
here.
Yeah.
Or LeBron. And then,
Yeah.
you can become, so at the end of the day, you get involved with a whole bunch of people that are crazy LeBron fans.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Is that the goal?
That's the goal. But
The
honestly,
conversation,
yeah.
product offerings, all kinds of stuff.
Like, yeah, I mean, LeBron could give away his sneakers through our app. LeBron could host a meetup and invite only his top fans to this undisclosed location, right? He could find his 50 top fans in New York, say, come to this address at 9 p.m., and he could reward them all at once, right? So that's, and on the most simple detail, he could literally just message his top fan, right?
Now how would I be able to go, if I went on this app, how am I able to go get involved in that conversation?
You immediately, when you see their individual user profiles, you can reward them. So you can send them a promo code for like 30% off whatever, or you can appreciate them and send them a message. And wherever they come from, if they came from Twitter, if they came from Instagram, it'll show up as a DM on that platform.
But if I wanted to get on your platform, I was a fan of you.
Right.
I can go on the platform, and then is there a way to join into that, or
No.
what happened automatically?
If you're a fan, you don't need the app.
Okay.
If you're a fan, you don't need the app. Just continuously engage with your favorite person or brand online, on social
So,
media.
like, I'm a Diana Taurasi fan. I love
Right.
Diana Taurasi. That's my
Great.
favorite basketball player.
Right.
So I always tweet about her, or I'll
Yeah.
post about her.
Yeah.
Automatically, I'll end up.
Near her top fans, and hopefully she'll reach out to you.
Okay, got it.
Right?
Yeah, cool.
And so just-
Diana, please.
Yeah. We need to get her on True Fan first, though. So
Oh, we got to get her on True
Yeah,
Fan.
exactly.
Well, she's flexible. She's.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know all that well. We met her one time, but she seems like a very dynamic.
Yeah.
In for something that makes sense, kind of person.
all right, I'm gonna look into it right after.
How great? Listen, I know you're a hoop fan.
I am.
How great was the WNBA playoffs this year?
It was nice, honestly. I think the.
Did you watch?
No, I didn't watch it. I watched
See,
the
that's
highlights.
the
I watched the
bullshit that
highlights,
drives
though.
me crazy.
But I don't even watch NBA games. I
know,
literally,
that's-
I'm part of the generation
Forget
who just
NBA.
watch highlights.
I know, but the WNBA was maybe the best. I think it was the best year they've ever had.
Oh, yeah,
the
for sure.
playoffs were amazing, and I'm a hoop junkie. I
Right.
mean, and it just kills me. I don't feel like enough people knew about it.
Yeah, no, I agree with that. Everybody. I think the WNBA as a whole is very underrated.
I mean, Stewart was insane. I pray for a moment where I can play like she was playing almost every game.
I mean,
And unconscious,
she was playing better than some
but doing it
minutes.
all, rebounding,
Yeah,
defense.
yeah.
And, I mean, not hitting easy shots.
Yeah. Yeah, no, she was playing better than I would say like
God.
80% of males play. in
It
the
was
NBA.
crazy. These women were just so good. I mean, I'm just so proud of the league, but it's amazing. I know you're a big hoop fan. I got to get on Elliot on Dunk,
Yeah.
and get him like, there is a WNBA going, but I don't see the women highlights rolling like the way he runs the NBA.
I agree.
Elliot,
Yeah.
Dunk.
Yeah. yeah.
The women aren't dunking, but they're doing everything else.
And
they're
some
doing
of them
it
are
well.
dunking.
It's not right.
Some of them are dunking.
Well, that's the thing. My whole thing with the WNBA is, look, you got a smaller ball. Let's get the rim to 9.5 feet. Let's get some dunking going on
Yeah.
and everything else. Because
Yeah.
they're doing everything else.
Yeah.
And in some cases, even better than the men.
Yep.
But I'd lower the rim to 9.5. And then you get some dunking. It's going to
Dunking.
be crazy.
Yeah, yeah. I think
You know what
I
I
think
mean?
the big thing about the
Crazy.
WNBA too
God.
is just corporate sponsorship. Honestly, like it is such an underrated market.
Yeah.
And
it really is.
There's not a lot of money being put into this. It's crazy.
I love the league. And I thought the playoffs this year, my wife thinks there's something wrong with me because
You should write an article on that. I kid you not. You should write an
I
article
just
on
think
it.
the league is just so good,
Mm-hmm.
and the playoffs had my full attention. But it's hard to even sit and watch a full game. But I thought
Yeah.
the game from beginning to end was good.
Right.
I really did, and only because I could relate to it. Because you watch an NBA game, like they're not really playing defense, then they kind of are, and then you see something crazy. Like, wow, I've never seen anything like that.
Yeah.
But then you see the clunks and everything else. Where the women, the consistency of the game, they're playing hard all game, they're well coached. kind of like the way we would play.
Right.
I mean, there's nothing that LeBron does that I'm ever in my wildest imagination going to do. There's nothing that Kobe Bryant does that I'm ever in my wildest dreams going to be able to think about doing.
Right.
But, the women are playing the game that I understand and know.
Well, they play the fundamentals.
And they play it in a way that I can at least relate to. I'm probably not going to play as well as 99.9% of them by any stretch, but they play a game that I can relate to.
Right.
And I think it's really attractive to me. So I'm hoping the league keeps growing. And I've been on this program talking about that.
Yeah.
How is Dunk doing, by the way? Because Elliot is completely blown me off.
Yeah.
He's supposed to come, doesn't come.
He's the busy
Because
guy.
I love when the young guys come up here to show me, to show the old people about what's going on. And every time that, whether it's Dylan or Elliot, or we've had so many younger guys come up here and really show us amazing new businesses.
Yep.
I love True Fan because it's truly a smart idea, makes sense. I like rallying behind my favorite player, and I think a lot of people do. Kind of like now, what's transferred over in my mind is you used to rally around your favorite team.
Yep.
Everything was really team-driven, maybe league-driven, mostly team-driven. And now, really, to me, a lot of player brands are almost as big as the team.
Oh, yeah.
And
LeBron James, for example.
You're seeing it in salary,
Yeah.
but you're really now seeing it. And it's more than LeBron. It's Aaron Rodgers, Tiger Woods.
Yeah.
You look at even a Judge. These guys now, they're just really, really
massive
big.
brand.
Massive brands. You don't need a logo. You don't need a team logo on
Yeah.
it. These guys or these women represent what they represent, and it's enough.
Yeah.
Because I used to say, listen, why don't we just do something with this player? We're not going to have the league or the team. Like, no, we need that logo. We need the team colors. Now it's like, well, not so fast.
Right.
That's enough.
Yeah.
King Lundqvist is enough.
Yeah.
Like, Henrik Lundqvist is enough.
Yeah.
Number 30.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know what I mean? And it's really show where talent and the celebrity part of sports is gone.
Yep.
You're probably just taking advantage of that.
Literally, yeah. And that's what we're doing. We're just helping them build their brand better. One cool thing that's coming up is in late October, we're going to be launching a media platform for the Indian market, because I believe that the Indian market will be the next big place for basketball. You got over 350 million people in that country are between the ages of 14 to 25. It's a very young country.
It's
about
crazy.
1/3 of India is between 14 and 25. The internet penetration rate in the country is about 30%. Only 30% of people in India really have the internet, but the country still has the second highest number of internet users in the world. They're way above the United States. So there are constantly new people getting onto the internet hungry for content, especially around sports, because their appetite for sports is so big among younger people. We're going to hopefully provide that to them.
Well, I'm hopefully going to provide some cricket and some unusual collectibles for the people in India.
Please, my God, cricket would be
There's so much there too.
So much. The biggest cricket. I was talking to Elliot about this for Dunk. The biggest cricket account on Instagram only has 114,000 followers. Only 114,000 followers.
What's surprising because even cricket here in the States is so big.
It is. It's huge here.
What's big for you now? Are you going to speak this afternoon someplace?
Yeah.
Where are you going to speak? And then what's the next big thing?
The next big Beyond Sports is the conference I'm speaking at this afternoon. It'll be on a panel actually geared around how to be able to engage young people through sports and social
Who's going to be there?
We're going to have Josh, who's part of the Whistle Sports team, head of content. Dylan from Next Gen will be speaking on my panel as well. And then I actually forgot the other two people, so.
Right.
yeah.
But anyway, and are you traveling anywhere else? Doing any big talks? Because I know you're always speaking all over the world.
Yeah, no, I'm going to do my third TEDx talk in 2 weeks, September 21st.
The first one was in Toronto.
First one's in Toronto.
That was a good one. Maybe not your best TED Talk, but pretty good.
Yeah.
You were really young. I mean, that was like 3-4 years ago.
I was 18, yeah.
Yeah, but you did a good job. But what was the last one?
The last one was in Edmonton. I think that was a good one for LinkedIn. You should. I don't know if you've seen it, but it was all about LinkedIn only.
All right, if you're a LinkedIn fan, go look up Swish and go and listen to his TED Talk.
Yeah.
We'll post the link if you want to watch that later. Yeah. What's the next big thing?
The next talk, the next TEDx talk or the next big thing?
What's the next big thing in your view? What's the next big thing?
Like in general.
Yeah, I mean, first of all, you know, there was a lot of talk like Instagram is the next big thing, or Snapchat, or like where is everybody headed now?
I'm not. Okay, this is not just because we're doing something around it, but I swear to God, I think the Indian market is the next big thing. Like I've just been reading so much more into. Did you know PewDiePie is the most subscribed person on YouTube? He's about to get beat in 4 months by an Indian music company that has 60 million subscribers. T-Series. An Indian music channel will beat PewDiePie and become the most subscribed account on YouTube in 4 months.
Are you a big YouTube fan?
I'm a huge YouTube fan, and I'm also a huge Bollywood fan, so I totally know about T-Series. And they're huge. They put out at least 30 pieces of content per day. They're growing literally about 150,000 subscribers per day, and they have over 2.4 billion views per month.
If you want to be more, well, let's just tack that for just a second. If you want to be more aggressive and do more. By the way, thank you YouTube for sponsoring the WNBA.
Finally.
Love that. Love that they stepped up and did that. Good for them. They were a title sponsor. You know, Verizon's big on it too, but on the WNBA. But if you want to be bigger on YouTube, what are a couple of the keys? What do you have to do?
I'm not an expert in it by no means, but I do know a couple of YouTubers, so I'll just speak on what they've told me and what I've learned from them. I think the first is carving out a niche. YouTube is not the place where you go and you try to say, I'm going to dominate social media and become an expert on it immediately. You really got to target a niche first. You got to, because people on YouTube, a lot of times, they don't click on videos that are in like their favorites. They search for what they want. So given that they're searching for what they want, you need to have a very specific topic that you're speaking on so that all the views that come from that query are going to go right to you. An example could be, how do I monetize my LinkedIn following? That would be a great title for a video. You would tag LinkedIn, following, monetization, social media. You'd put a bunch of tags down, hopefully collaborate with maybe somebody else that has a YouTube following as well, and boom, you're off to the races. Maybe that's a 2,000, 3,000 viewed post, right? On YouTube, I think the big thing as well is consistency. It's not like LinkedIn where you're guaranteed to get a bunch of views early on. LinkedIn, I think, is a very easy way to get views if you want it, just because there is a recipe for success. But on YouTube, it's really just, I think you got to put 200, 300, 400, 500, even 1,000 videos before you see results.
Yeah, because we have a ton on YouTube, and we're just starting to get going ourselves, and we're struggling. But it's consistency. And
PewDiePie is the best example of this. The guy obviously is the most subscribed person in the world right now for now. But at the same time, there's a video of his, which I love. It's 7 years ago. He reached 100 subscribers, and he did a reward for them. He did a video to thank 100 people for following him. He did a free game for them to watch. He was chilling with them and talking to them as if they were like buddies. Right?
You a fan of esports?
I am. Huge fan. And my co-founder for True Fan is an esports gamer. He loves it. He literally is getting invited to Activision's event tomorrow to go and check them out in Vancouver. So, and that I think is also another big thing.
So is your big challenge with True Fan, back to that for a second, is your big challenge now getting more players on the platform, or more celebrities?
Just getting it out.
More people knowing about it?
No, honestly, just getting it out. We have over 150 brands signed up for beta, over 250 influencers signed up, have some incredible investors coming on that we're going to announce next month. Which I'm happy about. And some of those are players, some of those are media executives. So I don't think it's about getting the word out. I think it's more of just putting it out and moving quickly on it. Because an idea like this, I think, is simple. And I think that's a good thing and a bad thing. It's a bad thing because maybe somebody else could do it a lot better. And so we have to constantly update it and make it a lot better.
But you want to get out there first.
Exactly. Yep.
So it's coming 3 weeks. You feeling the pressure? You feel you're prepared?
I feel good. I feel very prepared. I think that, and honestly, here's the thing. We were initially going to launch it in May. I'm very happy we pushed back on it. You know, we were rushing. And I feel a lot more comfortable because I've given such a good leeway, I think, for us to really be prepared. We know our marketing strategy for the first 3 months coming out. We know what we're going to be doing every week. The team is really well assembled. We're moved into Vancouver.
How many people on your team?
7 people now.
Okay, so you have a staff now.
We have a staff now. We have 4 people.
You're burning money.
We're burning money. That's 100% true.
You're burning money now. So you're in the big boy chair now.
Exactly, literally. And that I think is actually very pressure, right? That's where the pressure comes. The pressure doesn't come externally. It comes internally.
But how will you make money on this? Is it the
subscription?
Subscription.
Yeah.
Oh, so you have to subscribe.
It's a monthly subscription. Yep. Yeah. So if you're a user of it, there's a 3-tiered model based on what you want. If you just want to use one platform, like I just want to know my Instagram followers, you would only pay $60.
So if I thought that I had a fan base, I would pay a subscription to find this out.
Yep.
Well, that's something I probably would do.
Yeah. Yeah, if you cared about your following.
Hopefully.
Yeah. I mean, you pay a little bit.
Yeah.
And that we're not charging an astronomical level. We're charging like 60, 100, 150.
So the fee is not for the fan.
No.
It's the true fan is coming on, and he's gonna. It's LeBron's gonna pay you, or Brandon's gonna pay you. If I want to go find out who my true fans are.
Yeah.
So it's a service that helps me find my true fans, and then I can start servicing my true fans.
And it's very much geared towards brands. I mean, influencers are great, individuals are great, but your guys' fees are like $60.
Steiner has
$100.
true fans.
100%. 100%.
So it would make sense for us.
But the
probably
brand itself, that's, I think, where we make money.
I think for us, it would probably make sense is Steiner, and then there's Brandon Steiner. But Steiner has true fans,
Oh, yeah.
right?
I bet. Yeah.
No question.
Yeah. And I think you have the perfect business to give away things.
The question is, do I already
Right?
have those fans, or maybe there's a bunch of fans I don't even know I have?
And that's the question. I have a bunch of people that follow me that I have no idea who they are, and I can't wait to discover them. I mean, I've already discovered them using the app, but like, I can't wait for other people.
So you're
to
beta
discover
testing.
that.
You're
100%.
in the
Our
mud.
algorithm works. We have data reports. We've actually been sending them out to all of our investors, so they could see that the algorithm works, that we can actually produce these results. Compacting it into the app now has been a challenge.
How much money have you had to raise? Are you able to say?
Yeah, we can just go at 500,000.
So it's not crazy.
No, nothing
This is
crazy.
a reasonable-
We're staying super lean. And here's the thing: I don't really want to raise again. I want to stay self-sufficient. I don't want to give up more equity. And I think the big thing we want to do is start making money from day one, which is why we're doing a lot of consulting over the last couple of months. Is while the product's being made, we're going to service the clients that hopefully come onto it by doing things like LinkedIn consulting, helping them with distribution and production, helping them in other ways so we build up goodwill with them. When the product comes out, we shift them over.
By the way, you want to follow him, seriously, or chase him, whatever way you want to put it, because you're always learning stuff by going. If you just do anything, just follow him on LinkedIn, because that's a right. Just type Swish under LinkedIn.
Yeah,
or?
Swish. I am now.
That's the best platform to follow you.
It
on,
really
right?
is. It really is. Not
Sure,
to
yeah.
message me though.
Yeah.
Because my inbox, and I bet yours does too, gets quite flooded.
You know, my
Yeah.
inbox
Yeah.
is flooded, but we answer them all.
Oh, great.
We try to answer
Yeah,
them
yeah,
all.
yeah.
The ones I don't answer a lot of times, if you're just pitching me something that has nothing
Yeah.
to do with Steiner,
Yeah.
that's insulting, and that's just stupid, by the way. So you shouldn't do that because pitching somebody something that has nothing to do with that person, and you just randomly pitching
Not a best
people
way to get their attention.
is stupid.
Yeah.
No, it's not the best
Yeah.
way. It's just stupid.
Yep.
And it makes no sense to pitch somebody that makes no sense.
Yep.
Why would you do that? But thank you for all your help. Good luck with True
worries.
Fan.
Thank you very much.
And can you believe how young? I mean, it's unbelievable how young and intelligent and smart we are. How many people have come up to this office
Right.
that blow me away? I mean, at 21, I was just trying to figure out how to graduate college.
But
and
trust me, you ask any of them, and Elliot and I talk about this a lot. There are people who are a bit older than us, like you, for example, that I think are super young in their minds. And I think that's literally who you are.
it's critical.
The reason we can relate so
Yeah.
well to you is literally because you think like a young person. You're always trying to find the next big thing and get onto the new trends, and that's amazing.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
appreciate the help, man. This is a guy that you want to follow him. You just want to keep up with him because it's this today. It's gonna be something else tomorrow. But I like the True Fan idea only because we've been talking about
Yeah,
it
for a year.
at least about a year and a half.
Yeah, a
2
year and a
years,
half
right?
now, yeah.
So I love that you hung in with it.
Yep.
So I think that you should. You had a
Yep.
great idea and you hung in with it, and it's taken a bunch of twists and turns.
Yep.
Good for you.